Hello guys, this is my fifth video I'm making on this VBAC. I never made it to the internet. So let's hope that this one will.
Shut up your mouth. If this is not work, you are in trouble.
Each time I make a recording, I find out that my microphone is not working or one thing is not working for some reasons. I don't know why. But I've decided to make this video regardless and I'm going to upload it. So first of all, I want to apologize for making this video extremely late. Okay, so I've been getting DMs, comments on when are you gonna upload this video like you promised? Guys, please forgive me. Motherhood has been making me go through a lot. In fact, right now I'm coming back from a lot.
What am I trying to say?
Alright, so let's go straight to the video and read the reason why we're here. So VBAC. A VBAC is a vaginal birth after cesarean section, and there are a few reasons or indications why you may be a candidate for a VBAC. Right? So first of all, if you've had a previous vaginal birth in the past, you may be a candidate for a VBAC. But please, I want to put a disclaimer out there before continuing to state that this is not a medical advice. Alright? So before going on with any decision regarding a VBAC, please, always seek the advice of your healthcare provider. Alright? With that being said, let's go straight to the reason why we're here. Alright, so what's a VBAC? Like I stated, it's a vaginal birth after cesarean section. Alright, so one of the indications or reasons, or few reasons for this is if you've had a vaginal birth in the past, you may be a good candidate for a VBAC. If you have a low line incision, you may be a good candidate for a VBAC. But if you've had a vertical incision, if you see VBAC, run. You're not a good candidate for a VBAC because the risk of uterine rupture for you is actually very, very high compared to someone who has a low line incision. All right. So if you want me to make a video for reasons why you may not be a good candidate for a VBAC, please let me know in the comment section. All right. So I want to make this video as fast as I can, okay? Because this is like past 12 in the morning, and my small madam is going to be awake very soon to have her breakfast. All right. So now, what next? Another reason for a VBAC is if you fall into labor spontaneously, right? You may be a candidate for a VBAC. That means you do not need to be induced. Most doctors will never induce you if you're trying to have a VBAC. They will allow you to go into labor spontaneously because the risk of a uterine rupture is higher if you're being induced. All right. Now, next, if the reason for your previous cesarean section does not occur in this pregnancy, let's say the reason for your previous cesarean section was a breech baby or failure to progress during your previous pregnancy. As long as that does not occur in this pregnancy, you may actually be a good candidate for a VBAC. So for me, I had a low line incision. And then one more thing, if you've had your baby, at least your babies at least 18 months apart, right? Some doctors will work with 24 months to be on the safe side. For me, I had my babies 32 months apart, right? So when I say 32 months, I mean from the time when I had the first baby to the time I had the second baby, it was 32 months apart. Okay, so that made me a good candidate. And then I had no comorbidities like gestational diabetes, hypertension, or anything like that. None of that. Right. So the pregnancy was very smooth, very healthy, and I was fit. Okay. So I did a few things to 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 go into labor because I had my baby at 41 weeks and 1 day. I did a yoga exercise that I found online, and when I checked the comment section, I saw 95% of people said it would be worth. So so I went ahead to do the yoga, and 10 minutes after I was done, I went to labor. Thank God. All right. So yeah. So for me, I had a low line incision, had no comorbidities. I had my baby's 32 months apart, and the reason for the previous cesarean section did not occur in this pregnancy. So the reason for my first cesarean section was because the baby was breech. All right. So for this baby, she was not breaking. Okay, and I did everything possible to make sure that this baby does not turn and start coming out with her behind like my brother did. All right. So yes. So when I had my baby in Canada. For those of you who may not know, and my gynae was a pro VBAC, thanks to God. All right. And I had her last minute. When I say I had the doctor last minute, I had her last minute because when you get to Canada, you don't really have the luxury of getting a specialist like a gynae first hand. You have to go through a family doctor. Okay, so I went to a family doctor. I had my labs, I had my blood test, I had everything done. I had my scan and all of that. And after that, I switched provinces. So I was in Alberta initially, and then I moved to Ontario. Okay, and when I got to Ontario, I could not find a gynae who was willing to take me. All right, so I tried and tried and tried, and I couldn't. So I met this nurse in the hospital one time. I told her that, please, can you find a gynae on call who's going to take me because I may have this baby anytime soon. And at that point, I was about 40 weeks, and she looked at me and told me she's going to try. She tried. I waited there for about 2 hours. I couldn't find any doctor. Right, so she told me that, you know what, just, are you feeling any pain? Are you in pain? And I said, no. She said, so what's going to happen? Um, you just come here when you leave your pain and we'll attend to you since you cannot find a doctor. In fact, I called one clinic and they told me that the next appointment for me, that they will find a doctor for me, is in 2 years and 3 months. 2 years and 3 months. So I'm like, in 2 years and 3 months, I already had this baby. So they're going to book me for 2 years and 3 months now. Right? So I fell into labor at 41 weeks and 1 day. And I got to the hospital about 4 hours after I had labored. Okay, so before then, I did a lot of walking, jogging, running because I wanted my labor to be fast and smooth. Okay, so I was very active throughout labor. So I fell into labor at about 3 in the morning, and I got to the hospital about 3 minutes to 8. All right, so I left the house at about 7 a.m. in the morning. Got to the hospital about a few minutes to 8, and then when I got there, they took my details. I gave them my labs, my all my medical reports, and I told them I was trying to get a GP, sorry, a gynae to see me, but I couldn't, and then I fell into labor. So they took me in, assessed me. I was 4 cm dilated. So if you want to see the raw footage of my childbirth experience, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll do well to upload them to you. All right. So when I got into the triage, I was being assessed. I was still, I mean, the contractions were not bad. I was still making videos, The girl didn't want to dull. I wanted to give you guys content. But as time, so in fact, few minutes after I arrived at triage. I had I had contractions every 2 to 6 minutes. It was 2 to 6 minutes apart. I was able to make videos. And shortly after that, I went from 4 cm to 9 cm. How that happened, I had no idea. First of all, I didn't want to do strong woman because there's no award for strong woman. I was not ready for that. I wanted to have an epidural. But when I got in there, the first thing I told them was, yo, I want an epidural. Okay? So, while I was there, I told them my medical history, how I wanted to have a visa. And they asked me for the surgical notes, which I contacted Barbados because I had my first baby in Barbados. Okay? I contacted them to try to get the surgical notes. I couldn't get that as well. So I don't know why all of this was just happening back to back. All right. So because of that, they said um, they may not really want to try VBAC because they do not have a medical history and they don't have the surgical notes to know how the stitches, you know,